Play of the game.
Heroes never die.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 10 of Contestant Loadouts, the series where I give you fun loadouts to try in the finals. Keep in mind, these loadouts aren't designed to be meta so much as they are to be fun. So save your comments on how bad this loadout is, cause I really don't care. To celebrate episode 10 of Contestant Loadouts, I decided to get back to the roots of this series, with the loadout based on another Overwatch character. Episode 1 was Reinhardt, and episode 10 is Mercy. Now, I did a lot of research for this episode, but I'm still a normie when it comes to Overwatch, so if I got something wrong, I don't really care cause Overwatch 2 is trash anyways, fight me. But how do we play as Mercy in the finals? What does this loadout consist of, and how can we make our contestant look like her? Let's start creating our contestant to find out. The specialization for this loadout should be pretty obvious to anyone who's played Overwatch. It's the healing beam. Mercy has a staff that basically does the same thing as the healing beam. Our weapon is the revolver, a pretty shit pistol, at least when I'm using it, so it's a lot like Mercy's pistol in that case. It's also the only pistol the medium class has at the moment, so it's pretty much our only choice when it comes to replicating Mercy. The first gadget we'll be running is the defibrillator. Mercy can revive her teammates instantly, and the defibrillator allows us to do that as well. The other two gadgets we'll be using are the zipline and the jump pad. These give us horizontal and vertical movement options, much like the ones Mercy has that allow her to dash forward and fly for a little while. Fashion for this episode is based on this Mercy skin from Overwatch. I don't know what it's called and I don't really care. We'll be going with the female body type, Odelia for the face, the blonde hair bun for the hair, the tiara headwear, the frock of war for the upper body, skyward grace wings, white multi-gloves, and Isle Striders for the footwear. This is what I went with personally, but there's a ton of skins for Mercy in Overwatch, so feel free to experiment. But now that we're geared up and looking like Mercy, let's start learning how to play like her. Alright everyone, welcome to our lesson on how to play like Mercy. This class... Wait a second, I'm not dressed appropriately. Alright, that's better. As you probably know if you've ever played Mercy in Overwatch, this class is going to be focused on healing and reviving your teammates. As such, our two most important tools will be the healing beam and the defibrillator. The other tools still play an important role, but we'll go over those shortly. Starting off with healing, you'll want to stick close to your teammates so you can be Johnny on the spot with the heals. If you have any heavy teammates, I would stick with them specifically. This isn't to say you should ignore your light and medium teammates when they need heals, but a heavy with heals is essentially a teammate with over 500 health who can last a good while in a fight as a result. Like I said, don't ignore your other teammates, I just think heavy should get priority for heals. The healing beam heals so fast that it can quite literally out-heal some forms of damage. I'm pretty sure your teammate could get hit directly by a pyro nade and still be at full health the entire time they're burning if you're healing them. I bet you that wouldn't be the case if we had Molotov cocktails instead of pyro grenades, but for some reason Embark just doesn't want to add a Molotov cocktail skin. You guys think Embark watches these videos and is just being mean to me? Speaking of fire, let's talk about the heat meter. It's that little cross on the healing beam that fills up as you heal your teammates. Make sure to take a glance here and there while you're giving out heals so you don't overheat, cause then at that point you have no heals period. In the case you do overheat, or just need to wait for cooldown, or all of your teammates are at full health, bring out the revolver and take a couple pot shots at the enemies. Now I'm gonna get some flack for this opinion, but I think the revolver is a pretty shit weapon. Yes, I can concede that sometimes my aim was bad, and sometimes my positioning was bad, but let's be real here. This gun got nerfed a while back, and it really didn't need to be. It's a 6-shot handgun that deals 74 damage, which is fine, except half the time you can't even see what the fuck you're shooting at. It also has a horrible range drop off, so using it past like 20 meters is terrible. So in that case, you'd assume it's a closer range gun, right? No, because the hip fire is so bad that sometimes you'll be right in someone's face and still miss. This gun is going through a bit of an identity crisis, so it's a good thing your main focus here is healing and reviving. Only resort to the revolver if there's no healing or reviving needed, or if you're finishing off a low health enemy. Speaking of revives though, I think this is somewhat straightforward. If your teammates are dead, get over to them and use your defibrillator to revive them. The defib, in its current state, is pretty strong. Your teammates have invincibility while they're materializing from the revive, and they even have some invincibility frames for a bit after they get revived. So even if you revive them in front of an enemy or two, they can oftentimes get away if they're a light or medium player. Now be smart about this. They might be able to escape 1 or 2 guys, but reviving them in front of 3 enemies or more is kind of pushing it. Remember, just cause you can, doesn't mean you should. If your defib is on cooldown, but a teammate needs a revive, this is going to require a little bit more assessment. To state the obvious, do your best to avoid a non-defib revive out in the open. And if you don't have a defib, but your teammate died like 200 meters away, it's probably best to just let them respawn themselves. At least in Power Shift, which is the only mode I played while getting footage for this loadout. It's a 5 versus 5 mode where you push a slow moving objective to an enemy base. So this being an Overwatch loadout, I just felt it was appropriate to only play Power Shift because it's literally pushed from Overwatch. Also, I'm bad with the revolver, so I didn't want to ruin someone else's World Tour grind by choking against a light player or something. If you are one of the people who's cracked the Da Vinci Code of how to make the revolver work consistently, then I'm sure this loadout is perfectly fine for cash out too. As for terminal attack, you literally can't play this loadout there because there's no heals or revives in that mode. But let's be honest, you weren't going to play terminal attack anyways.
Know your in place, trash.
But before you get into whatever mode you like, let's go over how to use the zipline and jump pad. Now typically, you use these for team mobility before anything else, and you should definitely do your best to place these somewhere where your teammates can get good use out of them. But remember, we're trying to play like Mercy here. Mercy's mobility is there for her to get to her teammates faster so she can heal or revive them, and that's what our zipline and jump pads are for as well. Both of these gadgets give good mobility, but jump pads are best for vertical movement and ziplines are better for horizontal or angled movement. So assess the location of whatever teammate is in need and pick the best gadget for the job. Last but not least, support your teammates the best you can, but make sure you don't get yourself killed doing it. If you're low on health, get into some cover and wait for your health to regenerate. You're not a very useful medic if you're dead. And that's pretty much all there is to playing Mercy in the finals. I'm sorry if this video isn't as flashy as some of my other ones. I had to do a lot of research for this video, and frankly, I'm just a little bit exhausted from all of it. Also, I gotta get started on the next episode of Contestant Loadouts, which was picked by you guys in a community poll. Take a look at the comments to see what the next loadout is gonna be, as the poll is going until I upload this video, so I can't just edit the results in. If that loadout sounds fun, or if you want to see some other loadouts and videos from me, then make sure to subscribe. Until next time, thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.